Hi, this is Dave Perry and you're watching Retro Gaming Revival live.
Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, not Monday or Wednesday. We're going full throttle on a Tuesday now. It's just after 8 o'clock. Sorry for this slight delay there. It's time for Retro Gamer Revival Live. We have been waiting to come back with an interview for a little while. We've been trying to make this one happen for a little while. It's taken some time, but we've managed to make it work. We've got everybody locked down, and people will see we not only have a guest of honor, we also have a guest panel member tonight. So let's go around and introduce everyone that is here. We have got Mr. Blunners.
Hello everyone. Hope you can hear me, and my internet doesn't cut out today.
It's a game of chance tonight for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
We have got Mr. Triangle Face Tim.
Good evening.
How are we doing? All good?
Yes, all good.
Excellent. Our guest panel member this evening, Mr. Goldtooth himself.
Yo, Tess is simply the best. She makes blondie jammy dodges better than all the rest. She likes Sonic better than anyone, including Mr. 16-bits and Bobs. Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Goldtooth. Beautiful. We've missed that intro. How are you doing, Mr.?
Absolutely beautiful. How are you, spectacular people, tonight?
I think we are all good, and thank you so much for
top
joining
row's
us.
Looking beautiful, beautiful. Bottom row's looking stunning. Oh!
And before we go off too far on the first tangent of the night, I think we need to introduce our guest of honor this evening, and that is the absolutely wonderful Tess from the Logically Blonde channel. Welcome, Tess.
Hi. Oh, thank you so much for having me, guys.
No, it's
so
great.
sweet of you to invite me on. I'm quite humbled when I see the people you've interviewed before.
There's no humbling involved whatsoever. We've been wanting to do this for a little while. It's taken a while, but we finally managed to get a date that worked. Even if we were having some technical hiccups and everything else beforehand, it wouldn't be us if it didn't have some sort of issue before. So
it makes it authentic. So
exactly, we are live, as we like to say half the time. Yes, so welcome everyone who is watching live. You are all very, very welcome here. If you have questions or anything you want, get them thrown in the chat. We will then star them and get to them towards the end where we can. Apart from Dorbs' one there, where Dorbs is immediately asking if you're naturally blonde. I don't know if you've gotten that far down. That's about as natural as it needs to be. It's beautiful.
Bottled.
Bottled blonde.
Unfortunately, I used to be blonde as a kid. I had white hair when I was a child. It just went horrible mousy when I was older. So yeah, bottle blonde, but I can't be brunette. It doesn't suit my personality at all.
So you'd never have guessed, but when I was actually first tangent of the night already. When I was a kid, I was also peroxide white. Just couldn't have been. Yeah, it couldn't have been any more blonder if I tried. And got to like 13 and my hair just all of a sudden went black. So there we go. But I wouldn't suit blonde. 3 shades waiting. Honestly, he's the first to criticize. You need to come back on, Dorbs. Come back on. It's been too long, my friend.
It sounds like he needs to come back on as timekeeper to make sure we go live on time. There you go.
I was actually going to put my username as Dobbs.
Oh, yeah, we need him back.
See if anyone noticed.
To be Dobbs.
We can't have you be anyone other than you. It's gone
Final
away.
Fantasy VII is absolutely rubbish.
Oh, there
Can't
we
tell
go.
the difference.
I'm daft.
Okay. He's nailed it. He's really nailed it there.
Dog shit.
Perfect.
Oh, so if we need to have future Daubs auditions, we're not even going to go down that gold tooth will be
Yeah.
Daubs.
I'm here.
Now. He is. Okie dokie. So, Tess, let's kick things off nicely with the first question we like to ask everyone that comes on the channel, and that is to discuss your early gaming memories. So, what is it that brought you to this wonderful hobby of video gaming?
Oh God, I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember, but I think my earliest memories of it was, do you know when you go like a campsite when you're a kid, like a caravan park, and there's a little the thing that's there that your parents go and have a few drinks, and there's always a little arcade machine in the corner. There was one, I don't know where it was, Purfelly, somewhere like that. And they had Gauntlet in the arcade machine. Well, it was the arcade machine. There was nothing else. They just had Gauntlet on there, and me and my brother just spent the whole time on there. To the point when we got home, my dad managed to get a Spectrum off a lad down the road who was 16, 17, outgrown his Spectrum, and started smoking. And my dad happened to sell cigarettes, so he traded him some cigarettes for a Spectrum, and then it went from there. Got a copy of Gauntlet on it. Yeah. So I've still got my Spectrum. It doesn't work, but I've still got the original one there. But yeah, playing Gauntlet and all the games on the Spectrum, and then pretty soon after that onto my Mega Drive, and sort of, I'd say the rest is history, but I kind of got stuck there really. I'm still playing it now.
Just got stuck in the Mega Drive.
Yeah. Obviously, I've played on other
And does the
consoles
Spectrum smell of cigarettes?
What's
Does
that?
the Spectrum smell like cigarettes?
Probably. It's probably got a bit of a brown tint to it on top of the grey, to be honest. But yeah, it was. It's one of those. Still got it there. But
That's
yeah,
such a wild story about like trading cigarettes for a Spectrum. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever said anything even close to that.
that was my dad. Yeah,
there's been some great stories of people's early gaming memories, but I think this is my favourite. I think this is. I think this has to go up
Yeah,
there.
probably mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless
So
him. Yeah,
what
but
was
it was one of those things. Just got hooked immediately, and it was something that I was quite good at as well. And it's one of the few things. Didn't spend a lot of time with my dad when we were kids, but we did play on the consoles with him quite a lot. So yeah, it's nice. But yeah, so that's my earliest sort of memories, and then just sort of every console up to date really. I think after my Mega Drive, I went on to my brother got a SNES at the same time, so we had the SNES. We then had the N64. I had my Dreamcast. I'm trying to think what else I've had. I've had a lot of consoles, and then because Sega stopped making consoles, I then became a Nintendo girl. GameCube. What else did we have? Wii, Switch, Wii U, everything else. And now I tend to play on my Xbox randomly, and I had a PlayStation in the middle of all that as well. So yeah, played on everything. But my love is still with my Mega Drive, I would say, very much.
Okay, a topic we'll get onto later on. I think I know the answer already, so we'll. Yes, I think we might have shot myself in the foot there by asking you a question so obvious that's going to follow in a moment. But with the Spectrum, because it's not a system that I have a lot of experience with whatsoever. What games were you playing on the Spectrum when you first managed to sort of trade the cigarettes for that?
I didn't trade the cigarettes. Just to add that in, I was about 6.
Sorry, your dad traded the tabs.
So there was Gauntlet, like I said, that was the main one, and my dad got it for that reason. But the lad sold it with like loads of games. There was a game called Firelord on there. No clue what it's about. If you Google it, well, put it on YouTube, you can find a run through of it. And I'm like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, I had no idea. I used to play it all the time as a kid, just running around on it. There was a random one called The Birds and the Bees, which isn't what it sounds like. You were a little bee and you had to go to loads of flowers and then take the stuff back to the hive. It was really hard. But what a name for a game. And then there was one which I spent a lot of time on called Harold the Hedgehog, which was, I don't know how Sega have got away with it for so long, because it was a platform with a hedgehog. Genuinely.
No way.
Does he spin as well? Does he like roll down on the floor? Oh.
It was quite clunky, just sort of a bit like playing with Knuckles on Sonic 2.
Okay.
But yeah, he's that was one of them. Well, all of the ones I played really. Anything that was a bit more technical because I was so young I couldn't get my head around. But if it was just like moving things around the screen, then yeah. So there was
And is the
plenty to
Spectrum
play.
is the Spectrum tape based or is it floppy disk based?
Yeah, tape based, and
tape
I've got the
based.
one with the built-in tape.
Yeah.
What are the controllers like on the Spectrum? And what kind of controller do you have? So I never had a
I can
Spectrum.
show you. I can show you what
Well, you've
the
got a
original
cheater joystick.
Sinclair joystick. So it was
Sinclair joystick, yeah.
one of these ones. Smells of cigarettes.
Does it?
Yes.
So just a typical joystick, or it was the haven't had that out in years. That's crazy. Or keyboard. So
yeah.
yeah,
A lot of people do. Lots of people do
sorry.
talk about the Spectrum and have huge amounts of love for it, and it's just, I think the tape-based era of gaming just shot over my head. It totally disappeared from me. I think unless you sort of had someone that had one, or you were given one, or something, I don't know. It just seems to be skipped a generation somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just by pure chance. It was just by the fact that we've been on that holiday, loved the game so much, and my dad saw that opportunity. So, and it all went from there. Really, I've been a gamer ever since.
Yeah. Of the modern systems, what would you say is your sort of key one for the modern systems? You said the Xbox. Is that sort of where you're sitting?
Yeah, I've got a Series S, but it's more just I tend to play most of my gaming time. You won't believe it, is actually on Fortnite rather than Sonic.
Hang around with my son. That's all he plays.
Yeah, obsessed with it. Like I'm obsessed with it. I've played it for about 2 years or so now, and I just love it. Absolutely hooked on it. And obviously now I've got Sonic Origins on that. It makes it a lot easier to stream. So that's how I stream it. I put it on Twitch via my Xbox, and it's so much easier than trying to set a camera up, pointing at your games, and then the flicker on the screen. I mean, the only reason I can play it is thanks to this man sat next to me on the screen here. I've got my CRT TV. Goldtooth gave me that. Again, traded for some cakes. So maybe that's come from my dad. Trading things. Traded for some blondies, didn't I?
Can I just say something right now? People know who I am, right? Goldtooth ain't no simp, right? But Tess is one of the nicest people you will ever meet, hands down. I ain't joking now. If Tess messaged me saying, look, Goldie, can you send? Not a problem. Not joking you. Proper gamer, really nice lass. And this is why, obviously, we promote, we do, because she's genuine, 100%.
Yeah.
So, boom!
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's true, though. You know it.
It's true. I mean, it seems like a decent segue rather than sort of bringing it up later on. To be honest, we like to keep things as a constant moving thing. I found out about your channel and started talking to you because of Goldtooth. He put something out on one of his community posts, I think, at one point, and just said, "Go check this girl out. Her channel's amazing," and just clicked on it, and it was just something about you. It's just a very nice channel. And well, if that's what it is, that's what works.
I think.
I would like to now put out a question to the chat, and let's see. We've had a Spectrum traded for cigarettes, and now a TV traded for cake. So I want to see in the chat anyone else who's got any gaming stuff you've traded for something. What? Let's see what it is. I want to see some things in the chat. What have you traded for a game? Any gaming thing?
To be fair to Goldtooth, he had offered. He'd just given me this TV. Gone to the Nottingham Gaming Festival, not the one that was just this year that I met you at. Ollie and Tim, you were there as well, weren't you? It was the one the previous year in the December. He just brought it along because he knew that I'd been bleating on about having that, and I'd made some blondies to feed people because I've got this need to feed people. Just one of those things, and I enjoy baking.
Beautiful.
So. Yeah, little Spence loved them, didn't he? So I was like,
"Ooh!" He talks about them to this day.
Oh, I will send you some more.
Amazing.
We're good, but thank you.
So the next event we all go to, we need to sort of just send in orders early and just sort of say, "Tess, we're all gonna be here."
You're so privileged tonight, guys. The Bake Off's on. Started at 8 o'clock, and I was like,
"Really?
Be chatting to you lot."
Removing you from Bake Off. Oh.
Yeah, if
now
the viewing figures are low tonight, it's because people are watching Paul Hollywood instead.
I've also got to add as well, right, that it was Ali 16 Bits and Bobs that put me onto Tess. I think she'd got maybe 1 subscriber or something, maybe, when I jumped on.
Ali,
So I put the community post on, and then all of a sudden I'm watching the videos and the numbers were going up, up, up and up, and the subs, and I'm thinking, so people are actually listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, what? So
Yeah,
for me, it wasn't about people listening to me. I was like, whoa, now this has worked. And it's one of the rare instances that I do actually post anything, which is regular. Do you know? But yeah, I was so pleased that everybody jumped aboard.
Massive favour there as well. And Feed Me Chicken was there as well. It's been so many. It's just a lovely community. That's what I love about the retro gaming community. It's just a really nice group of people. And I tell you what, the difference between, like I've said, I play Fortnite and I'll post a Fortnite video on TikTok and you just get trolled. Like you crap, you rubbish, blah blah blah. If you post something about well, normally Sonic, it's like everybody's asking questions and it's just there's a different mentality.
Yeah.
Complete different mentality.
Yeah, there's a couple of games that have the sort of type of following that just they just have a really odd behavior. Fortnite definitely does. I mean, I don't dislike the game. I think the game's quite good fun. I don't play it particularly. I'm not particularly good at it. You are actually quite good at it, which is
I'm not bad.
Great.
I'm not bad. I can't build. I can't build crap.
I've never played it. I've still never played it. I don't know whether I should give it a try. But the other game, I've never played Minecraft either. I downloaded Minecraft on my Xbox. Never played it.
I've never played Minecraft either.
Man,
I've never played Minecraft either.
Neither of them ever really appealed to me, to be honest. But obviously, I've never heard anyone speak badly of them. Everyone who plays them enjoys it. So maybe I should give it a try. But
just a fluffy shooter, isn't it? I think that's why I like it. It's fluffy. It's not all blood and guts. It's just it's quite cartoony, isn't it? So yeah,
definitely, it's got its place for sure.
Oh, dog.
Look at that comment.
Final Fantasy.
Sorry, I had to put that on there. I couldn't stop laughing when I read it.
Fortnite, honestly,
Dorbs is very hard to please, isn't he? He doesn't like mini games.
I'll send him a blondie.
Like, doesn't like Fortnite. Doesn't like Yar's Revenge. No,
he does like free stuff though. So if you're going to send him a cake, I think he'd be send him a blondie. He'd think that is the best thing that's ever happened.
I'll send him a blondie when he comes on a stream and says how good Fortnite is.
Dorbs, there you go. The deal has been set.
I am waiting to see if he's actually going to play Final Fantasy 7 on the stream. Now he's got his PS1 Mini's got Final Fantasy 7 on it, so it could happen.
He does. He needs to.
He'll probably just look really pained throughout the whole experience, I think. But
we'll do it for charity. Then he has to do it for a prolonged period of time, and that would be fun to watch.
Maybe for every £1 we make, he has to play for an extra 5 minutes or something.
Excellent.
Yeah, we can get him to play for something like that.
I'm all into that. Okie dokie. So moving on from some of your gaming memories, I'm pretty sure I could answer. I'm not going to answer for you, but I'm pretty sure I could answer one of these for you. Everybody has a favorite game and a favorite console. The two don't have to be mutually exclusive. So you could have a favorite game on the Super Nintendo, but actually your favorite system is, I'm not going to say the word, but it's going to be something else. So hit us. What is your favorite game and your favorite console?
Do you know what? I find it harder than you think to answer this. So my Mega Drive is definitely my favorite console, but it's a toss up between 3 games. 1, 2, or 3.
Sonic, all right, we'll let you have.
I think for me, genuinely, I have thought about this because obviously I've watched your streams before and I'm just like, what am I going to answer that question with? And I think for me, it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if I'm allowed to say that. That
you are. Tim says it frequently.
Yes. Yeah, that combination. That's one of my favourites, yeah.
The absolute best. I think it was one of the first sort of games that you could actually save on the Mega Drive, wasn't it? In that... or because you could save the levels, couldn't you, on Sonic 3? Whereas previously you couldn't save Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic 2. I find that really difficult though, because I have got a very strong love for Sonic 2 as well. I really love that game so much.
Yeah, Sonic 2 was I still am a Nintendo kid. But being a sort of Nintendo kid growing up, we've said on streams before, when you were a kid, you picked a console and that's kind of what you went with. It wasn't normally because that's just how life was. It's because you just weren't lucky enough to have more than one console as a kid. That was, you know, it was a really big deal. So yeah, Sonic 2 was one of the first games I remember seeing on the Mega Drive where I genuinely was jealous of Sega owners, seeing how fast that game ran. And the soundtrack was so, like, I mean, it's 90s
epic,
cool
isn't it?
now, but it's
Unbelievable.
so good. Some of the
But
music
it's
on like
so
that Chemical Plant.
slow. When you play it now on the original Mega Drive, it is so slow versus the modern versions. It's
On
just so
50
slow.
hertz, it is definitely.
Yeah.
I
60
couldn't believe
hertz is
it.
okay, but 50s, yeah, it's slow.
On one of my first videos on my channel, I got my Mega Drive working. I put the game in, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's not working! It's so slow." And then someone was like, "No, that's how it is." I was like, "No way!" I couldn't believe it, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Think about it, there's quite a lot of sections where like you have the run fast and go loop the loops and stuff and run over things and spring around. But there's a lot of sections where actually it's not that fast. You are jumping on platforms and doing more precision platforming. There's a lot of sections like that. It's not actually, when you think about it, you think constant running forward, but that's not actually what the gameplay is like.
No, it's not like that at all. I think that's where they went wrong when they tried to make Sonic a modern game, because in the minds of the developers, for some reason, it was just run, and that was all you did on the 3D versions. And there was less of the platform element, and any platform elements that were built into it were just that terrible to play. It just, you know, so after the Mega Drive era, I think even Sonic 3D on Flicky's Island, I enjoyed that game, but it just didn't work. It was quite jarring, wasn't it, when you look back on it now?
Yeah, it's all right, but it's like, it's the precision jumping in it, the little bits where you're like trying to jump on enemies. It's like quite hard to actually land where you want to land in certain bits. It takes quite a while to get used to because it's quite fiddly.
It is difficult.
It was all right. I think Sonic 3D gets a lot of hate. I think it came out at a time where there's much better games coming out around the time, but it's not actually as bad as I remember it. I've gone back and played it, and it's all right. But I don't feel like it's a Sonic game. Do you know what I mean? It feels like they just made a game and then whacked the Sonic IP over the top.
Yeah.
It's a strange one. Has Sonic successfully been made into into a 3D thing? Like, I love Sonic Adventures on the Dreamcast, and I think
I did as well.
I think that's about as close as we ever got, or probably ever will get, to a perfect 3D Sonic game. I've got Frontiers over there. I still haven't played it.
Still not got it. It's like, I don't know if I want to or not. It's supposed to be really good, but it's just like every time I play modern Sonic game, it makes me want to cry.
All right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not Dreamcast. You can't beat that Dreamcast game.
Yeah.
So Tess, with what you said regarding Sonic being so slow now, right? You imagine it's like early, I think it was 90s, what it?
92,
we were one of the first shops to receive it over in the UK, so it was Japanese import. We'll play it on a Japanese console. And then when kids did actually like get Sonic and it were on PAL, I used to be looking, thinking, "Whoa, what is this?" And like I used to say, it's nothing like mine. And we used to come round to the house and I'm like, "Why is your Sonic so fast?" And so this has been going around forever. But yeah, I know what you mean. When you play modern versions, it's usually
Never knew. Just saw that question from Mark. There, Mark Goes Blind Gaming. Yes, 100%. I think they should. You can do the debug mode, can't you? And kind of create your own. But that is, I've got Mario Maker on the Wii U. I'm not going on the Switch, but yeah, I loved doing that. I love it. So yeah, they definitely should. I think they're missing a trick, to be honest.
Yeah. I definitely. I didn't play Mario Maker. I'm the same. I've got it on the Wii U, but I've not got it on the Switch. And I played quite a bit of it. And there's quite a nice sort of community vibe to that as well, because people upload all their levels. You can go on and leave comments and stuff. What's this?
Spider-Man there.
I think Sonic Maker would go down very well. Like with that debug mode, it was like as soon as you moved away and it went off screen, whatever you put planted would disappear. So you could only you couldn't really build a level, could you?
I think it's when you put too much in. I think when you put too much stuff, it would start deleting the older things in it. But I think that would be a definite winner if they did that. I love those sorts of games though. I have Mario Paint on the SNES. And I've got a copy of that I need to try. I've bought that from CEX. I've now got my SNES. My brother sent that to me, and I've not put the two together yet because I don't know where I've put the cartridge. But I love that game. I'm hopeless. I'm absolutely hopeless. I'm like, you guys would all be like, I'd drive you batty because I don't know where anything is. I'm so disorganized, and I'm trying to set my gaming room up, and this is my office, and then I've got another room down the back that I'm like, I might turn this into my gaming room. So now I've just got stuff everywhere. So yeah, anything like that, like in The Sims as well. I love The Sims, like building the houses, designing the characters, doing all that. I love that side of gaming as well, but you can lose your life to it. You know, you spend hours just designing someone's face on a game. It's ridiculous.
You can. It's one of the things that sort of has stopped me from. God, we're well off on tangents now. It's one of the things that has stopped me from jumping on something like Baldur's Gate, because I haven't really gone into Baldur's Gate before. So to go into Baldur's, it's 3 or 4 that's out at the moment. I can't remember.
idea.
Either way,
Never
I'm
even,
sure.
like-
Is it that or Diablo that's got the character builder at the beginning, which just you could spend like 2 hours?
What?
Shocking.
Does make a great background. Well, you've
don't
come
live
to
on
the
a-
right
in a
place.
mansion,
You found the
I live on
right
the
channel.
road.
What are the chances? I'm assuming they just randomly stumbled across our stream and they've lucked out really.
I had to put that up.
I didn't really
Exactly.
read
You
it
come
at
to the
first,
right,
I'm just
you come
looking
to
at
the
it
right
and
place. You come to the right place if that's what you're after.
We
Okay.
do get a random bunch of channels between that, radio rentals, and there's a whole plethora of people.
I did have a few issues with my green screen once, and there was a plethora of people in the chat willing to help me with it. So,
including radio rentals.
Radio rentals, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a tangent.
Okay.
I may have to come back to this. Hang on.
Where's it gone?
I've lost a bit now. Where's it gone? I'll come back to that later, perhaps. We'll have a little sneak peek what's in the KLAX.
I don't think we've ever seen what's in the.
Yeah, we did once. We did do a what's in the KLAX a little while ago.
Not what's in the box anymore.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Well, when we did it a while ago. It's like a lot of my kids' toys are in there. To be honest, so I was like, had all these like young kids' toys. And I was like, why have I got all these like big, bright and yellow and blue kids' toys making noises? Anyway.
Shocking. Let's move swiftly on from the KLAX, shall we?
I was going to ask a Sonic question actually before we move on. So you mentioned Sonic 3 and Knuckles was your favourite Sonic game. What's your favourite level out of all the Sonic 3 and Knuckles levels? If you had to pick
Ice
one.
Cap.
Right.
Ice Cap, I think. And I'm really disgruntled. I might change my answer now they've changed the music if you play it on Sonic Origins. Honest to God, when they changed it, I was just like, what the hell is going on? And I had no idea about all the backstory of Michael Jackson, like being a part of writing the original music to Sonic 3 and then the rights. And I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. But my ultimate, it's tough. Ice Cap is a normal level, but I think the Doomsday Zone at the end is brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's cool.
Good choice. Good choice. Do you know what? That's a really good point. Does anybody else have a favourite Sonic level?
I don't know if I could pick one favourite, to be honest. I think I've got a lot of love for multiple levels. There's a few that I really liked. What's the second one on 3? Hydro City.
Yeah,
I quite like
that's
that one.
very underrated.
That was really cool.
That one. Yeah, it's very good.
That's a good underwater level. I like that
Sonic
one.
2, Sky Chase.
I don't like the
would
ending
be my
credits.
favourite. The what, Goldtooth?
Ending credits.
That's what you like.
Well, just
because it's the end.
Yeah.
Not a Sonic,
Sonic
fan,
fan.
are you?
But I've got to say, though, this is what I'm saying about Tess being true. Now, how many times have I been in her comments saying, look, Sonic sucks. Sonic, but she doesn't falter. She keeps the Sonic. She says she loves it. She loves it, you know?
Obsessed.
I've always found it odd how in some of the future games Sonic would appear in like the human world and the humans would just look like humans and Sonic was a weird cartoon. I just the world.
Yeah.
I often, I do like Sonic games, but I like the 2D platform classic Sonic. I've never been a big fan of like the 3D ones, even like the Dreamcast one.
Same, yeah.
I did enjoy Sonic Heroes to a degree, but it's not the same as like your classic. I quite liked Sonic. What was the one they did not long ago? Sonic Mania,
Generation.
wasn't it? Yeah. The Sonic Mania was pretty cool. I did enjoy that.
Mm.
That was
Sonic
good.
Generations was the one where it was 2D and 3D, wasn't it? I've got that right.
That was-
I think
Yeah,
that was a lot
it's
of
still-
fun.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
enjoyed
I
that.
quite like what they've done with like remixing the levels in Sonic Mania, so like going
Yeah.
back to the old levels. I think Chemical Plant Zone, they drop down to the Mean Bean Machine, and you got to be
Yeah, that was
robotic in the
epic.
level of that. Drop out, yeah, stuff like that. I thought was really cool. So it was nice to kind of revisit it, but have a bit of a remix of the levels and then a couple of new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I've said many
What
a
about the
time,
movie?
if Sonic should have finished at 3, for me, I probably still would have liked him. But they've just milked him and milked him and milked him and milked him, no matter how bad the games are. Like, I'm not a massive Mario fan, but Mario don't come out that often, and when it does, it's something different. Sonic,
Are you kidding?
Sonic Races, Sonic R.
Mario
Yes.
milk more than
I don't
Sonic.
mean like Mario RPGs. I don't mean like Paper Marios, but I mean, you know, the real Marios.
Yeah.
It's like.
To be fair, I mean, I'm just looking at the Switch. I don't think there's that many Mario games, like just true Mario games on it. You got, what did we get? We got
Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. That was also weird because Mario looks like he
Wonderful.
does, and he went to, you know, the big city and that, and all the humans look like humans. That I found really odd. And you got this like weird chubby plumber running around. Even though I love Mario, he's like the ultimate for me. What did we get? We got Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D All Stars, the redo
Mario
of the
Kart.
3D world, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Maker,
Yeah,
Mario
1 and 2.
Party.
Sit 1 and
Yeah,
2.
It's
don't
not milk
count
at all,
them.
is it? No.
We don't count the party games. They're like, that's like Sonic and Mario at the Olympics.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Which are
Mario
good games.
Party though. Nothing is
Yeah,
better than
Mario
Drunk
Party's
Mario
brilliant.
Party.
Drunk
playing
Mario
that.
Party.
Oh, it's so good on the way. So many memories
Mario
playing that with
Party,
my
though, is
friends.
so unfair. It's unbelievable.
It depends how
You know,
good you
when
are,
you can
though,
be winning
Goldie.
all the way to the end and then they'll take stars off you or something. And
I get so angry. Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Yeah,
have
it
to
is
do that.
unfair.
The next time we all meet up, we'll have to have a big Mario Party play, but we'll get
Party.
drunk. A big Mario
that'd be
Party
ace.
party with
Yes.
Party.
amazing.
So what's everyone's opinions on movies?
So Daubs, yes, we've had that up there for a while.
Yeah,
Opinions
I
on
was
the
going to say
Sonic-
about that from what.
Because I wanted to
Goodness,
answer it.
quiet,
Sonic
Blunners. We can't hear you. You keep whispering stuff. I'm like, what?
Oh, am I whispering? Can you hear me?
Yeah, beautiful,
we can hear
beautiful
you.
voice.
There you go. I turned it up.
We'll go with
I
Tess first. What
really
were your
enjoyed
opinions
the
on the Sonic movies?
I love the movies. I love them. I love especially the second one. I love the little Easter eggs in it, and yeah, I loved them. Really enjoyed them, and I know that's not a popular opinion, but yeah, it's Sonic, isn't it? At the end of the day,
Mm.
I like the
quick one,
Mario movie
Tess.
as well, though. But I like the
you've
original Mario
mentioned-
movie.
So you've mentioned the movie, right? You love it. What is your favourite gaming movie of all time? I know what mine is, and it's not about one particular game, but what's yours?
Mm.
I don't know if you'll pick the same, but it's a beautiful film, what I'm thinking.
It's a tough one because it's going to sound ridiculous, but I think it's the Mario movie, the new one. Yeah, I loved that. I was the oldest person there on my own without children. Creepy loner. Got to the Mario movie.
See,
on
mine's
our own.
kind of like an old school film, but to this day, I still love it, you know? And I don't know if you've seen it, The Wizard.
The
No.
Wizard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh! When he runs off to Nintendo contest.
Yep. The guy from the Wonder
First
Years.
time
isn't
they
it?
ever showed Mario 3. And it was like, yes! Gimme, Jimmy
Yes.
Woods!
One of the times.
Yeah, I do think that the new Mario film they did, you mentioned that. I think that's how you do a good gaming movie. I think they actually ticked a lot of boxes for me on that. They did a really good job with it. I was a little bit unsure when they did the trailer, and I didn't like how they did Chris Pratt's voice on it. And I was like, I just don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it. And then people did point out, it's like, yeah, but if you had the original Mario voice, you're going to be hearing like woohoo, woo, like all throughout the whole film. It's not going to work. And I was like, but he's not got an Italian accent. And right at the beginning of the film, they've got the little advert where they're putting on the Italian accents for the advert, and then like, oh, but they're actually they're from Brooklyn. They don't really speak like that all the time. They did it for their advert, and then they had a little cameo from the original voice actor for Mario. And then the film carries on. It's like I feel like they kind of had little nods, and they like ticked the boxes for me on that, and then they carried on with like Chris Pratt's voice for like the rest of the film. I think it actually kind of worked. So yeah, I think they did a lot of things right in that film.
Yeah, it was good. It was really well done.
Mr. Blunner's a favourite a favorite video game based movie?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I said I do like the new Mario film, but I do like the new Mortal Kombat film as well. So I did like that.
That was good.
Not
It
seen
was,
it. I
Oh
like
it
yeah,
was
very good.
it was very, very violent, which is kind of what
Kano.
we wanted.
The Aussie Kano is cracked me up constantly. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's up there with me. And the fighting scenes between Sub-Zero and that in there was just top class because it's
Yeah.
like proper martial artists going at each other, and the choreography and that was really good. So yeah,
That's a good
I did
shout.
like the new Mario, but I did like the new Mario film as well.
Okay. For me, it's got to be Silent Hill. It was a movie. I remember taking my wife to see it. She still to this day doesn't forgive me for it. I think it's what gave her that fear of seeing people getting burnt in movies. So ever since then, that was so yeah.
I can't do horrors at all. I can't do horrors.
What?
Mm-mm.
I know this. You can't. Yeah, she's told me.
Yeah.
Like at all?
Like, what did I watch a few years ago? Do you know The Lady in Black? It's a PG or something, isn't it?
Oh, The Woman in Black. Yes.
The Woman in Black. That's it. I just sat behind a cushion the whole time. I can't cope. I can't
It's genuinely
cope.
a scary film, though.
Oh well, I don't know. People are taking the mick out of me for it. The Exorcist.
all.
That's one that's not particularly scary these days, isn't it? But I couldn't watch that. Not again. Traumatized.
That is my favorite movie of all time. I have just got tons of Exorcist stuff up
Show
there.
the head.
Oh no!
the head
Don't
there.
tell me
We'll
anything
get-
that's
have you
going
got
to
the head?
scare me.
I'll get the head when we get to the next question. So as Tess is
Oh,
talking,
can I-
I'll go and grab my Reagan head.
So
Go
for
on,
me,
Tim.
my favourite game movie is Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. 'Cause
Good shout.
What?
I absolutely love that.
What? What's that? Never heard of that one.
You've never heard of it? It's absolutely brilliant.
No.
Well, in my opinion, it is. I'm sure certain
It
people in
is.
the chat will rage on that
Also,
one. But
I think I might
no,
own that.
It's the best.
I think it's great. I love the soundtrack. I think I had the soundtrack for it as well
Yep.
on CD. So brilliant soundtrack. They remixed all the music. I thought they just carried on from where the game left off and filled in some gaps, and it was just fun. I think you needed to have played the game to understand what's going on because they don't explain what materia is and things like that, and then just like start using magic and summoning things. So as a fan of the game, you're just like it's a lot of fan service in that. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
And also, I was going to do a shout out for another thing. It's not a film, but if you haven't seen it, I do recommend the Tekken series that's on Netflix. Tekken Bloodline, I
Okay.
think it's called. And that follows the plot of Tekken 3 and follows Jin Kazama. And I thought that was really good. So definitely
right.
recommend that.
There it
Check
is.
out. There it is. It's a good film.
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, broke it off.
Oh,
Amazing.
Oh,
What?
Tim cried.
why?
You can have it now,
My
Tim.
goodness. So I can get them
Oh my
CX
God.
to 50p.
Actually, no, that's the condition. You find them at CX. That's the condition to send them.
Man, that would be Dorbs chuckling away all that there. Oh, Mr. Tolkien as well, chuckling away at that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a bit left field. That sort of took me by surprise a little bit.
It did me, to be honest. I didn't know what I was doing. Oh.
Just
That's
Didn't
down
feel
the
good,
field.
yeah, got to
So I
run with
take it,
it.
have you seen it and you weren't a fan, or did you just do that?
I haven't seen it. But
You can't watch it.
More-
now,
See,
can you?
so you just did
I'll
it
watch it now.
yeah,
because I liked it. You just wanted to destroy something I loved.
I channel me and John Claude Van Girth. You know, it was for Dobbs, especially for Dobbs.
It was. We're gonna have to clip that. That's gonna have to be a short. I think we're gonna have to clip that.
Yeah, going what this one? and just rip it.
Goldtooth destroys Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Amazing.
Oh, what?
So we're going to move swiftly on to the topic, which is the Logically Blonde YouTube channel. So what is it that kind of brought you to YouTube? What is it that made you decide to join this merry band of oddities that we are?
To be honest, the main reason I ended up coming to YouTube was because of Mr. 16 Bits and Bobs. I was putting on my Instagram page just little clips of me playing Sonic, and he was like, I should go on YouTube. Well, actually, let's take it back a step further. He approached me to ask if I had a YouTube channel because he was nominated for GirthTuber of the Month and he wanted a vote. So that's why I ended up creating a YouTube channel.
Amazing.
And I couldn't vote for him anyway because it had to be older than 3 months old. But it was one of those. So that's how I ended up with the YouTube channel and username. And then yeah, it kind of just went from there. And he said, oh, you should do it. And I thought, I used to present, I used to do community radio station. So there's a local radio station called The Cat and one called Redshift Radio in Crewe and Nantwich. And I've been on both of them, did that for about 10 years. And then when lockdown happened, it became sort of, you had to do and edit your own shows and that sort of thing. And I just lost it for me because it was a podcast rather than having music, and I just lost it for me. And I needed an outlet so I could, I don't know, express myself like I am now. But the gaming thing, and it just came with that bit of a theme that I've got my retro gaming consoles. They're all in the garage. They're all in boxes. I don't know where they are. So that's kind of how it started, was me trying to track down my retro gaming consoles. And that's the sort of story behind it. And yeah, and I still don't know where half of them are. And I keep finding them. And then they're like, there's no cables for them, or they've perished because they've been in the garage for too long, or my brother's got some, and he sent me he sent me a Saturn in the post recently. A few months ago, he bought me a Saturn because that was probably one of the highest hitting ones on my YouTube channel, was me nearly in tears in a car park because my mum had given my Sega Saturn away because it had been in her garage for so long. So yeah, it's kind of just evolved from there. And now I tend to be streaming a bit more on Twitch, my Sonic Origins. I need to get back into doing the car booting and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just sort of evolved from there, really. And it's just nice because I was missing doing that radio show that I used to love doing, and it's just a different way. But I would never have done the on-camera live thing that I do now had it not been for lockdown and having to deal with Teams meetings, because I could not stand the sight of my own face on a screen. And it can guarantee if it freezes, it's always my screen, and I'm always like this. And it's always that in the middle of a Teams meeting. It's probably already frozen because I was pulling a face there. But yeah, so it's kind of just sort of naturally evolved from there. And I set up my YouTube channel November last year, so it's only been a year that I've been doing it. So yeah, I enjoy it, and I've met all you wonderful people as well. It's good. I just love it. Just love it. Sorry. Totally went off on a tangent there.
not at all. You can go on as many tangents as you like. We do.
You need to stop me though, because we'll be here till next week.
That's fine. We got all the time in the world. It is odd. You sort of talk about meeting people. Like me and Brian were saying a couple of weeks ago. There are some people that that we talk to that we consider to be really good friends now, that we probably never would have met if we'd not done the YouTube thing, because we just wouldn't. It's one of those things, unless there would have been another sliding doors moment where, for some weird reason, I'd have like walked into Gold2 or something. Oh, sorry, mate. All right. And all of a sudden start up a conversation, and there you go. All of a sudden we become friends immediately. But yeah, it is really bizarre
crazy,
to think.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, because there's a lot of people that over the last couple of years that we've met and become pretty good mates with. Everybody here obviously included in that, and we just sometimes think like, fuck, like two years ago we did, yeah, exactly, like 2 years ago we just didn't know any of you guys, and if we hadn't have decided to give this YouTube thing a go, the chances are we probably wouldn't have ever met, which is really sad.
It's the joys of gaming as well, that though. I think the internet and like playing online with people. So when in the early 2000s I had my PlayStation 2 hooked up on, it was the first online gaming experience I had, and I used to play Ghost Recon 2 Jungle Storm, and there were lads that we played with, me and my ex-husband, we'd play on that every night for hours on end, people in America, and we became really good friends with them. And that's the whole thing of gaming. I think if you're not a gamer, you don't realize, do you, that it's got that you've just got that camaraderie. Camaraderie, is that the word? Camaraderie? I don't even know how to say it, but it's that there's that to it. And I think people miss that. If they're not a gamer, they're just like, what the hell are you doing? It's dead childish. But it's not. There's so much more to it than just sitting playing a game. I mean, some people do that. But yeah, the online side of it has opened up a whole new world to I don't know, all of us, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it happens a bit in
to add very quickly.
Yeah, dude.
So obviously, like Ollie says, we wouldn't have met each other, and I wouldn't have met somebody else, and he wouldn't have met somebody else. So it's really good for that. And obviously, this is my second time on Retro Gaming Revival, and I feel like part of a team. So because of that, I've got a song. I'm Retro Gaming Revival. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. Ooh, bit of Destiny's Child.
I like
Retro
it.
Gaming Revival. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder.
Oh, beautiful.
Goldtooth, does it just pop into your head?
Yeah.
Like just like that, and you're like, right, I've got to sing it.
All of my songs were just. I never think of anything. If I think of a song, right, I want to do that later on. I guarantee, as soon as I click record, it's a song that I haven't heard for a while, or I might have heard on the radio earlier on. I don't even know the words, most of them. It's just my lips are talking and it's coming out. I don't know. Honestly, I've got the mind of a genius.
It's a gift.
I've often wondered, is it something
I
that
don't
you
know.
planned, or it's just like spur of the moment? That's what's
Mind of
my
a
mouth.
genius.
Yeah, it's a mystery. I don't even know what I'm saying now.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Totally derailed. Can't even remember.
I was going to say about people come together in gaming. I think it happens with films a bit, but it happens more so with games. If you are chatting to somebody and you establish that you've both played a game, it's almost you have that shared experience. Because like playing through a game is more of an experience. Obviously, it happens a little bit with films. If you realise someone's seen a film that you've seen, all of a sudden you're chatting about that film, and you've got a lot to talk about. And I think it happens even more so with gaming. If you find out that someone you're chatting to has played a game that you love, that's a lot more hours that you've put into that, and they've done the same. So all of a sudden you have a shared experience with that person.
Yeah,
it's true. It's like I'll be in like the canteen at work or just somewhere, and you'll hear someone talking. They'll start talking about a game, and whoever I'm chatting to, I could be talking about anything. But if I hear someone talking about a game that I know about or something that I've done, I totally zone out on that conversation, and I'm like sidestepping over. I play games. I've played that one. It's really good, but it's that you just have that instant connection, don't you, with somebody if you're a gamer. It doesn't necessarily matter what game it is either. It's just there's something about it that, yeah. It just brings people together. At least that's how my experience of it has been anyway.
But Tess, you must get it a bit like me, because when I tell people that I'm a gamer and I've been collecting for like 35 years, they're like, yeah, all right. Yeah, of course you have. You don't play games. I'm like, what do you mean I don't play games? Fucking damn right, I do. Yeah. But you must get it as well, Tess. You must do, surely. It's
amplified, I think, being a woman. People don't believe you at all. They don't believe you that you're a gamer. They're just like, oh yeah, you've just played it. You had a little go on it when you were a kid, didn't you? It's one of those things, and I used to get bullied for it actually when I was at primary school. I used to get picked on.
Wherever. Put the names down in the description. So we're off. We're going
on the way. But yeah, genuinely, and I think it's tough enough for lads growing up, especially in the 90s, you probably the geeky guys who got picked on for gaming as well, but being a woman, a girl gamer back in the day was just like, I didn't care. And do you know what? It just made me more determined to play better. And there was not one lad that we used to play on computer games with who could beat me if it was a game that I like. One of my happiest moments ever was slapping somebody to death on GoldenEye who had the golden gun, and I slapped him to death. He was Jaws and I was Oddjob, but I still did it, and I was just like, yes.
I thought you were talking in real life, and I was thinking, what?
No.
Yeah, what? She slapped him to death.
We can
exclusive.
Exactly. Yeah, we can clip that later. We'll clip that later and just cut off the GoldenEye bit. My favourite memory is slapping someone to death. Donk.
Oh, don't, because Tull could be doing that as we speak.
He's already done it.
Yeah, it was but it just gave me that drive, and I think that's one of the reasons why the games that I do play, I just have to play them to death basically. And there's a bit of an anxiety thing related to that, like if you're like me and you watch Friends on repeat or you watch Family Guy on repeat, it's because you know what's going to happen next. And it's supposed to be, if you struggle with your anxiety, you play a game you're familiar with and you just play it because you know what's going to happen next. So there's a bit of a theory behind that. So I think because of my anxiety, I just play Sonic on repeat on loop.
Yeah. Well, that's that in itself. I mean, that even brings into another element of it. You know, the fact that I think gaming's great for mental health.
Yeah.
You know, being able to have a whole bunch of experiences, or sometimes play through. I've said it so many times before, but something like Life is Strange, which is a really emotionally driven game, and there were elements in that game which really, you know, got me to my core, where I would just burst into tears at the end of an episode. You're like, holy crap, this is it was almost like therapy playing this game. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that can come from it as well.
Yeah.
As he sort of goes a bit.
Goldie? What's
So
the
I'm loving these comments. Like, someone's streaming from Hell's Kitchen.
I heard it's on like pots and pans and knives and forks and everything.
I think it's Triangle Face.
That's going to be my wok being cleaned.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the
beans taken out.
What did we end up calling it? Was it the twok? We're going to brand.
Well, to be fair, I think we keep saying it's not a wok; it's a skillet. So don't actually own a wok.
Well, could we somehow sort of attach a wok-shaped handle to the skillet and call it a twok, and then it's a completely new thing?
Sure. I think whoever gets me the Secret Santa this year is going to get me a wok, aren't they? That's that.
I think it's going to happen. I know Ali wanted one. Ali did in the chat ages ago was saying how he wanted a triangle face wok. So maybe we'll have to return the favour of the tin of beans that you got this year. We'll return it by giving him a
wok with like my face on it or something.
We'll rebrand it. You know how like the Ken Hom woks have got like his signature on the handle. We'll go with that, but we'll get you to sort of
that's a bit more subtle than just like cooking food on my face.
Girthy wok.
Wok. I like that. Wok. Oh man, how quickly we can fall down that rabbit hole. Okay, so before we dive onto a little feature that Tim has going to introduce you are going to be the first person to be part of this new feature, and because Gold2's on here as well, we'll also allow him to be a part of it. But before we do because he is in the chat here, we do need to.
The only reason he's here. Don't big him up too much. There's one reason only he's in the chat.
Mr. Tolk. Right, where are we going? Where is it? Okay, here we are. So yes, Mr. Tolk is currently running for YouTuber of the Month. People need to get on that. They need to get them votes in. And Mr. Goldtooth has made a promotional poster for this. And it's an absolute gorgeous thing. Check this out. Come on. Look at that. Look at that. The complete uncut version. It's the Women's Weekly Review that absolutely tips that. It's such a good poster. So there we go. We've got to make sure we get in there. Make sure that we get Tolk his YouTuber of the Month reward. It's got to happen. The short that he put up today genuinely brought tears to my eyes. It was it was genuinely so funny. I think it would be fantastic if we can get you that, because then we can get you for YouTuber of the Year. Oh, can you imagine if you took over that? That would just be
it'd be chaos.
It would. Maybe that's what it needs. It needs some chaos to see what happens. So yes, if you're in the chat, please head on over. We'll find the video. We'll get a link in the chat, and head over, give Tolk a vote. Let's get it happening.
At the moment as well, there's somebody on there who's quite close, so it's going to be 50-50, I think. So he needs just go over and vote if you've not had a chance to do it.
Oh,
that's the only plug I'm giving him, though.
Give me £1 for voting.
Okay, so our new feature. Tim, I will click the button and I will let you take over if you would like. You can run with this piece.
Sure. Okay, so this is hopefully what I'm hoping to be a new thing. Will build up for a while. So I'm talking about a desert island games room. So the idea is you're on a desert island. You just got a games room. You can put one game into the room. So right now the room is empty. But when you add your game, that'll go in, and then every other person I ask will add another game, and I'm going to review what games are actually in that room and look at the mix. I want to find out, like, what is it more Sega? Is it more Nintendo? Do we have, like, what are the popular games? What stuff are people putting in it? So what would you like to be the first game in the Desert Island Games room?
Is it cheating? And a privilege. This is a privilege, by the way. Is it cheating if I say Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Is that 2 games? Am I going to put Sonic 3 in and you put Sonic and Knuckles in, Tim?
I think we'll have to keep that as 2 separate games. So yeah, if you put 3 in, let's see how long it takes for someone to put and Knuckles in.
Okay, Sonic 3
So,
is
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic 3.
Sonic 3, it's gone in.
It is in there. So that's the first official game in the Desert Island Games room. So Goldtooth, what is your game going to be? You're going to put?
See, it's not going to be a surprise for some people, but this is such a hard choice. Now, this game I can play, I mean, until my fingers bleed. I can go back to it every day, all day, if necessary. And that is Outrun Coast to Coast.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Good choice.
Look at that. That's factory sealed.
Oh, it is.
Do you know how much pennies that's worth? It's incredible. And you're not going to believe this. You know where I actually bought it from? CEX.
No way.
What, sealed?
Yeah, I bought one from CEX, and I think it was about £55-ish at the time, £60. I went by the window, I got another copy. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to buy that one as well, just in case. So I went in and I said, you know what, Outrun Coast to Coast in the window? Has it got a manual? And she went, that sealed one. What? I said, sealed? I said, put it in a bag immediately. I'm buying it. I'm out.
Yeah.
And she says, it came in and one of the guys wanted to open it in the shop. And one of the other guys that worked there says, you can't open that. You can't open it. So how rare it, because CX, they actually take the seal off before they trade it in, don't they? They actually make you unwrap it.
Check it, don't they? Yeah.
Unreal.
Lucky find that was meant to be, wasn't it?
Shout out to CEX. I'll trade my fantasy skin later.
It's a now damaged box. I wanted to list one thing. One person put a comment on there, so I'm so upset by that. I'll get over it. Where is it? There's a comment about putting in. I can't find it now.
Sonic Feed Me Chicken. I saw that pop up.
Sonic Gems. I can't find the comment. But yes, I did actually have a clause of no compilation games. So you would need to pick individual games on there. So Sonic Gems wouldn't qualify, I'm afraid. But otherwise, more practical. So yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, there you go. We've got 2 games in this imaginary games room now. So I'll see how this goes on and what else goes in there.
See if you can recreate the room in VR, Tim. Is there a way that we can have the games room on the desert island?
We need a triangle face.
I don't think I could do that, but I'll have a word with Riga and see if he knows anyone that could do that in VR chat. Even if it's like just a things on there. Although I suppose I do actually no. I've got my EMU VR games room, haven't I? I could do it in there. I can actually get the games out. Yeah, I'll do it. I think that's going to be. You can save different loadouts, so I'll do that.
Look at that.
So in a little beach hut on a random island.
That's it. So there we go. First 2 games, and thank you very much for putting those games in. The first ones are in, Tim. Let's see where this runs. Okay. Last 2 topics that we're going to throw at you. I know you said you were having a bit of trouble thinking what this could be, so hopefully there'll be something minimum of 1, maximum of 3. And that is going to be your picks for Wallace Remasters. So for anyone that hasn't seen this feature before, this is our little dedication to our good friend Mr. Rick Waller, who when he came on the stream randomly started picking some games that he wanted to remaster. We are now running with it, so this can be any games that you think need just a remaster or a remake for a modern audience.
I think the first one for me, I wouldn't touch the Sonic ones. We've already discussed this. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't even know if it's been done. I think it may have been done on the PlayStation. I could be wrong, but the Road Rash games, I think would
Okay.
be good.
Oh.
I thought, are you opening that outrun, Goldie? You're taking it out of the thing.
What the hell?
That's only a plastic cover because Dobbs was saying it's a Final Fantasy inside. It's a reseal. It's actually in another.
I was like, what are
Maggie.
you doing?
I thought he was opening it. I was just...
What a heart attack then. Even I'm not that irresponsible. Don't know where any of my games
Even I
are,
would
but
have
I'm not
pulled
that
my pants.
irresponsible.
Look there.
Oh dear. But yeah, I think the Road Rash games, I don't know if they've even attempted that. Because they'd be kind of cool with a modern twist on them, I think.
That would
Love
be
them.
great.
Love playing them.
So I think that would be
oh,
really good. It's like, they get these 99 games, like Linus, you're doing that, playing that F-Zero game, aren't you? Imagine
Yeah,
like a
correct.
Road Rash game with that sort of feel to it. Say, have like 99 people playing Road Rash, and when she knocks them off their bike, they're out.
off. Yeah,
Like
that'd be
something like
cool.
that. That'd be cool. That'd be a good twist to that.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be ace. And the other one that I thought of after you'd said it was Gunstar Heroes, potentially off the Mega Drive. I
Okay.
loved that game. I actually played it all the way through for the first time on the Switch online with Mr. 16 Bits and Bobs. We got chatting, and it was a game that me and my brother never managed to finish, and it drove me mad because it's like I said to you, that when I was a kid, if I wanted to focus on something and do it, I'd finish it. Just could
Yeah.
not get past it was the board game bit with the curry and rice monster. If you guys, if I'm talking to any sense to anybody who's listening, we always used to get stuck there, but we actually managed to finish that. So I finished that for the first time. I think it was either late last year or early this year, online with Ali. So that was fun. But I think that if you could make that as a modern game, I think that would lend itself. I don't know whether you'd want to make it into a 3D kind of remake or just enhance what was already there, but that was a brilliant game. If anybody's played it, but it's dead expensive to buy now, isn't it? I think it's like 125 at CEX, something like that.
Anything that was either vaguely good or vaguely rare is now yeah. It's some of these games have gone crazy money.
Yeah. I mean, I've played that on the Switch. I think it was on the Mega Drive compilation.
Yeah.
Stupid money.
214. Go to sold listings, Tim. What has that sold
Do you know
for
what?
recently?
What covers that one? Because that's
a
even
second.
like a UK cover. That it's like a Japanese cover with like a English side.
Okay. Is that you, Tim, looking over that? No, is it Blanners?
No, that's not me.
The second one is the original. On the top there, you've got the second one in. That's the original cover.
All
I
right,
think.
I muted myself.
Yeah, that
that's
one's like
me.
a Japanese cover, but it's got like a
this one?
English sort of spine on it. That's like a weird version, like a fake or something.
My
Oh,
co-
that's
it's
pretty
either,
nice,
and I can't remember if it was my cousin who owned this or it's one that we used to rent off the video man who came around with his car renting videos out the boot. I
Yeah,
don't know if that was
everyone
a
had a
thing up
video
and down
man.
the UK. It happened up north.
Yeah,
but-
you'd have the video man. Yeah, sometimes they turn up in a van. They have like the video vans. Sometimes they turn up and they'd open the side. And it'd be easy way to fucking steal kids, but it would
That's-
have all the
I would have
rentals in there.
That's just reminded me though. That has actually just reminded me of another game that could be remade. Wiz and Liz. Love that game.
Wiz
Did
and
they
Liz.
remaster
Wiz and
that? Yeah,
Liz.
brilliant
Good
game. We used to get that
grief.
off the video man. That was a great game.
That's
got a
not something
copy.
I've thought of for a while.
Got a copy.
Have you got it next
Love
to you?
that game. No, it's in my other games room. I've not got a mansion. Whoever said that earlier, I think it was Dawn.
Yeah.
It's just down the hall. But yeah, I've
Yeah.
literally just started moving all my stuff there, and I'm now thinking I need to move it back. But yeah, I've got a copy of that. I can't remember where I picked that
Amazing.
up. Might have been CEX.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's in the
brilliant game.
second. Yeah, if you're going to say you got a second game room, you got to say it with like a proper hoity-toity accent. You can't say it's a second.
Hoity-toity.
It's not a second. I've got two halves. I've got one half here, one half there, and it's chaos everywhere else. Yeah.
You've only got 2 games rooms. What's going on?
What's wrong with you?
Child
I've got 3 games rooms. Oh, chops.
That's it. You have to say it like that. It's in the second games room.
hoity-toity. Hoity-toity.
Yes, with the little
Yeah.
pinky out as well.
My butler
Beautiful.
Tarquin will sort that out immediately. Or sooner.
Tess, who are you?
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing. Some
dear.
really good picks there. And then our last pick for you is a Liam's Love to Hate. So this is our little ode to Mr. Liam McGuff, who came on, and we got chatting about games that he knew were absolutely shite, but you just couldn't put them down. So are there? I think people normally just call this a guilty pleasure, don't they? There's always a game that you know's toss, but you just think, you know what? I still kind of like it. Are there any games that you play that you know are not great?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. I'm trying to think. You have to give me some time. Goldtooth, what's yours? Throwing it over the fence.
There's
Tough
quite a lot,
question,
to
isn't
be
it?
honest. That's a really tough one, yeah.
It's weird because some people constantly go on, like, I'm a big fan of the middle ground. Like when people go, oh, if a movie or a game isn't 10 out of 10, it's a piece of shit. It's like, well, actually, sometimes average is fine. Like sometimes you just want to play something which is just okay. You know, it's like a Big Mac that you just eat a Big Mac. You know, it's bad for you, but it still tastes nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know really.
That
it's
is
not
hard
bad.
for me because I play a lot of indie sort of cheap type games, and a lot of them aren't good, but I keep going back. I don't.
Like,
Do you know what
I think...
play obsessively when I start playing it? I used to love Theme Hospital on the PC, and I've got 2 Point Hospital on the Switch and the Xbox because it wouldn't work. There was a glitch on it on the Switch; it kept freezing, so I bought it on the Xbox and played it through again. That's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me because it is just like you can lose days of your life playing that game. My ex used to say that was the soundtrack to his lockdown, was me playing that game, and the music's quite repetitive and quite boring, and it's one of those that you just, and then you just stop playing it. You don't. There's just one day you stop playing it, you put it down, and it's like, what a waste. So I'd probably go down that vein, maybe.
I've got one for you.
Bloated head disease. I loved Theme Hospital. I was really obsessed with that as a kid. Love
Go on,
playing
Goldtooth.
it.
What's he got?
Goldtooth, what you got?
American Shopper.
Okay.
It shouldn't be good. It isn't good, but it keeps me coming back. There's just something about it.
What sort of style of game is that?
It's a racing game. Obviously, you set off your little lackey in a mechanics sort of garage, and then you start doing jobs for him. So you might have to go run this parcel, and there's bikers trying to knock you off, or you'll have a race on a bike to win something. And it's a strange game, but it keeps bringing me back. Now, the second one for Xbox is like hen's teeth. Hen's teeth. Trust me, I haven't found it anywhere. But that first one, it's probably rated naff, and a lot of you guys would play it and be like, what's that? You know, but yeah, I keep going back to it. I was looking around for other machines and consoles thinking, what is there? But for me, that's probably one of the best ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr.
American Tim.
Girthy Chopper.
Mr. Tim, have we ever covered this ourselves? Is there a game that you love?
I think so. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm happy to cover it again. My one was Sonic R, because it's arguably not a great game, but I just kept on playing it. And I was like, but you have to collect the Chaos Emeralds and coins and stuff. I just kept on going back in.
There we go.
And I would finish the first, I was like, oh, that was a bit rubbish. And then before I knew it, I'd finished the whole game and unlocked everything, and then went and did it all again with Super Sonic. So I obviously enjoyed it, but I didn't. Yeah, weird one.
It wasn't that good. I played it again recently, and I still love it. So yeah, I probably said that. Good out.
So it's weird, though, isn't it? Because it arguably isn't a great game, but there's something about it. Because I just kept on playing it. I just kept on coming back to it. I don't know.
It was so novel, wasn't
the music's weird as well. It had the like the lyrics, didn't it, and everything.
Yeah,
that cheesy pop music.
CD. If you put that into your little CD player, I used to take it to school with me, listen to the music.
They need to start doing that again.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I don't know what it is about that, but yeah, kept on playing it.
Okay, Blunners, what was your pick? Because it's been that long since I think we've talked about it. What was
yours?
What?
I can't remember, but I'm going to go for a different one, and it's mainly because of what Tess has just said. So mine is going to be like Championship Manager 99 on the Xbox, only because I started playing it and then I realized it was 6 o'clock in the morning and I hadn't been asleep, so that is why so I've never done that since. I had to put the game down and stop playing it. So yeah, I just started playing, before I knew it, I looked around and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't believe it. I've never had that happen to me since. So yeah, I love the game. I hate the fact that when I do play it, I lose my life. The hours are gone. So yeah, I had to put it down and not play it again.
Okay.
But yeah.
Intriguing. I think mine was Hook on the Super Nintendo.
That is a good game, dude.
Yeah.
It is a good game, but it's not a good game.
I loved it. I love music. I love characters and everything, mate, on that.
Graphically and musically, certainly on the Super Nintendo as well, it was so good. But when in a game where you've got Peter Pan and you can only fly for little portions of the level, and you just can't fly all the time. It's like, oh man, I've just got to run, and he runs really slow. And it's one of those situations where it's like, what is it, three strikes and you're dead, 3 lives, and then that's it, back to the beginning. And if you get hit, you lose that big sword that does all the, firing all the little mini Hadoukens across the screen, and you have to complete the level to get to the next level to get the sword back. It was so punishingly hard as a kid. But there's just something about that game that keeps me coming back. And yeah, strange game. What's Dorb saying is the hardest point and click adventure?
KGB on the Amiga.
Again, not a system I grew up with at all. Hardest point and click ever made. Why is it so hard? As he waits while he ferociously types now and tells us why KGB on the Amiga is the hardest. Metal Gear, but that's a genuinely great game, dude.
That is a great game.
Yeah,
That's
I
not-
don't
that's
have to
not a
love to
bad
hate.
game.
That's just love to play.
Exactly. You get that new Metal Gear collection soon, where you'll be able to play that on your HD TVs and 4K TVs and relive all the wonders of Solid Snake. They definitely didn't think that through, did they, when they named that character?
Or maybe
Can you
they
have a
did.
question where it's games that other people like that you don't? Because Metal Gear put that on my list, ain't that shit?
Really?
Really?
Still stealthy, it's boring. Yeah,
Oh, I love a
honestly.
stealthy game. That's how I play Fortnite. I'm a camper.
I just want to go in and kick some ass. Bop, bop, bop. It's Assassin's Creed, that same me. It's too stealthy and tiptoeing around. I don't want to
I love
tiptoe around. I
Assassin's
want to
Creed.
jump in and both. And then you get caught, and then, yeah. I can't. I'm
You much
stealthy,
prefer,
so-
you're more of a hack and slash guy than a stealth game.
Yeah.
Does he watch cutscenes though? Do you watch cutscenes, Goldtooth?
No, skip them.
He's like Dorbs, isn't he? He is Dorbs.
Do you know what? When I
Yeah.
was younger, I used to sit through Japanese RPGs, even though I didn't know a word of Japanese, and I'd play them. But as I'm getting older, it's just cutscene. Yeah, story, don't think so. Dink, bye. Honestly. I ain't got patience for it no more.
You ever played Hitman?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I've tried one of them. I
Just
can't
run
remember
in
on
and
what
start killing
system, but
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
got
couldn't.
patience no more.
I couldn't believe it when Dorbs managed to. Dorbs, did you manage to platinum Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, twice I think.
It was. I think I ended up asking him to, like, what part of the story. He's like, oh yeah, don't ask me that, because it's such a good story driven game, and I do think he skipped all the cutscenes. So he just running around Turbo in Night City with all your augmented arms and incredible guns, not knowing what's going on. But
We ain't got time for that, Dobbs, have we?
PS4 and PS5, unbelievable. Right, Ms. Tess, that has brought us to the end. It has been absolutely
thank you so
lovely having you on.
It's been great fun. It's been really nice. And to be honest, I don't do live streams like this. The only one that I've done was the one of yours, Goldtooth, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
Girth Social Club. I was like, what the hell is going on? What have I let myself in for here?
I knew if you could handle that one, you can handle any, to be honest.
So it's been really nice. It's been really good.
That did have one of the best thumbnails, I have to say, because I think it was you in a red dress in the center of the street, and it had Goldtooth, Ali, Tolk,
that one.
Yeah.
Tolk
well
did that
put
one.
Together. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
it
god,
looks
what
like
have I let
usually
myself
one of mine,
in
but it
for?
was Tulk.
I think that's one of my favorite thumbnails. I remember seeing it and thinking that's good.
What the hell's going on? But yeah, it was so that's the only other sort of time I've done a live stream like this, I guess. I do them on Twitch, but not in this format. So it's been really good. It's been nice catching up with you guys as well and talking to you. It's interesting. I love hearing other people's gaming stories and just the nostalgia of it all. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, if we could all bottle nostalgia, I think we'd be millionaires.
Mhm.
So until then, we'll just have to keep buying the plastic crack of video games and
Yeah.
just
Before we
relive.
go, can Tim show us what's in the box?
Oh,
Which
what's
one
in...
do you want? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Right, we'll let. Here we go.
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
So we're gonna have a look. This is the my
Like
next
deal or no
pickup.
deal, innit?
I think this is I think this is a good pickup actually. I got new Super Mario Brothers U and Super Luigi U in a double disc,
Nice.
and it was eight quid.
That's that on Milk
So
franchise
Super
right
Mario
now.
Brothers U
Let's see.
and Super Luigi U double discer. So there you go.
Okay.
I've got. Oh, this is a pickup I got from the Knox Video Game Expo. I've not played it yet since I picked it up. This is one of my love to hates as well. Lone Soldier. Played that. It's it's pretty crap, but I love it. Don't know why. It's a shooter, but I need to play that again. I'll do one more. I'm currently playing a bit of Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5. So got a good range.
Who made that noise?
There you go.
It wasn't
thing.
really honest.
There you go. On that note, not going to get any more out because I think someone's getting too excited.
Oh man, there we are. So we're still having a little what's in the box there to finish us out. She makes great baked beans. Shocking.
Another the
Shocking.
planet.
Who before we do dive out, who was it that came up with the idea of giving Tim beans at Knott's VGE this year? Was that Ali or Tolk?
Yeah, it was Ali. I think it was Ali that gave me the beans.
Is it you've got the phobia
Yeah.
of them, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a phobia. It was more of I think we started off talking about Ollie not liking milk. So Ollie's got. we were talking about horrors. Yeah, it was. I think it was about a year. It's come up to a year ago now. 'Cause it's in October. So we're talking about. We were talking about like horror stuff, and we talked about like what people are scared of. And then Ollie mentioned he had to think about milk. I was like, it's not really a phobia, but I do have a strange dislike of beans. And it's that thing about when you see beans in places where there shouldn't be beans. Have you seen that? It's like if you
like not gaming.
no, like a grandfather clock with beans in like inside the clock, or like beans in a shoe or something, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like the beans where there shouldn't be beans in a glass, or like it just weirds me out a bit. So I'm not afraid of them, but I don't like being around them. And yeah, Ali gave me a tin of beans. So I say just Google beans where there shouldn't be beans to see what happens.
What, like this?
You'll get some weird things. What have you got there? See, it's just bath of beans. It's just something
my friend
about
has
it,
a very similar thing. My
It's
friend
odd.
Lee, he's not keen on them.
No.
Baked bean pizza?
Oh.
Yeah, no. It's dreadful.
I think I'd have a phobia of
So it goes a little bit beyond just not wanting to eat them, but I just don't like being around them.
No.
I mean, so anyway, and Ali, we talked about this on a stream with Ali, and now it's an ongoing thing. And he bought me a tin of baked beans at the Not Video Games Expo. Beans but no dogs, no beans pops. Yeah.
Maybe when we eventually get to do the alien conspiracy stream, which we're going to do, we are going to do that. We're also going to integrate it with our favorite sci-fi video game. So we're going to pull it back to making it game related. Maybe we'll have to do like a phobia stream where we all talk about our biggest phobias.
Well, I think definitely October's coming up. We'll have a lot of horror stuff going on in October, I reckon.
You might not see me in October, boys.
Or you might do when you find out what my actual phobia is. You might do, because it's ridiculous. It's
not milk then.
I'm not a fan of milk. If I had to drink it, I would, but I'd be very ill afterwards. But no, my actual phobia is of crabs.
Yeah,
I get that. They're like spiders. The legs.
No, but I'm not scared of spiders. It's just crabs. Doesn't matter whether they're the giant Japanese spider ones or whether they're just the little ones that you find on the beach. Like, fuck, I'm out.
What about
Don't trust
a
them.
hermit crab who has decided to use a baked bean tin for his home?
No. no, you can be evicted immediately. Set fire to it. Get it gone. Just
So the
take it
tin,
away
the
from me.
tin wouldn't bother me. You know,
What if it still had a few
That's
beans in
fine.
it? What if the crab was older
that
than
would bother me a
beans?
bit. Yeah, that would
What
bother me. I
about
think.
what about pubic crabs? Because obviously they're tiny and you can't really see them.
No, what are you doing? Fuck, Ted. Oh, God. No.
Is it all crabs?
Yes.
Not lobsters?
I'm not a fan, but they're not crabs, so you're all right. Oh God, Blunners. No warning whatsoever.
See, I
If you
didn't
Okay,
react
it
that
might be
badly
a
to the
bit
beans. That's the difference, I think. There, I'm just like, oh,
So what we'll do after is I won't say it loudly now. If I've had no, you don't want that. Off air, I'll show you the Mac Daddy of crabs that terrifies the shit out of me. I'm not going to do it here because people will forever be sending me photos of them like all my friends do now. You know, I'll
Oh,
wake
that's
up in the
just
morning
mean.
sometimes with some of my friends that have been on holiday. Someone they'd be like, "Oh, saw this in the aquarium." You're like, "Oh, it's going to be a fucking crab, isn't it?" It's
Oh, that's just mean. You need new
Dress
friends.
them up as a crab.
shocking. Anyway, before we divulge into too many more tangents of people start, there we go. See, there's loads of crap happening now. Yes, Tess, thank you so much for joining us. It has been absolutely
thank you
lovely,
for
like you
having
say.
me.
It's been lovely to catch up with you as well. Hopefully, we will see you soon. And
Yes.
Mr. Goldtooth, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Had to come on. Tess, what can I say? Absolute legend. As soon as you told me
Aw.
Tess were on, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it 100%.
Oh, you're
And I've
sweet.
been working today, so I've come home. I ain't had much time. I've just been like, look, turn the computer on, and I'm on, baby.
So for anyone in the chat that hasn't, please do send us over. Go head on over to Tess's channel, give her a subscribe,
Thank
check out her
you.
videos. She is incredibly charming to watch.
If that's what you
Okay.
call it, I'll take that.
You're lovely to watch. I enjoy your
Oh,
videos
thank you.
greatly. Absolutely love it. We will be back on Monday with something. I can't tell what it is yet because I don't think we've decided. So it's there's no secret.
Crab
It's just
special.
we get fuck me with the crabs. Right. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. It's been a lovely evening, and everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you all very, very soon. So good evening.
Bye.